It is time. In every revolution, there's one man with a vision.
Captain Kirk, I shall consider it.
This is Gnarlcast. Thank you guys for coming back for episode 2, being played in once again by the wonderful Void King. I hope you don't mind. I gave you a little bit more this time than you probably expected. I just think that Void King deserves a little bit more playtime than that. So I mispronounced their album last time. I keep calling it This Is Nothing, but it's There Is Nothing. I bought my copy on iTunes, but you can get it on Reverb Nation, I think, as well. Not Reverb Nation, Bandcamp. Yeah, you can just get through their Facebook. Just do that. Get it through the damn Facebook. Anyway, sorry. Hope you guys are doing well. I don't know if I can, call this a Halloween special or not, because, well, I mean, it is a Halloween special, but it's only... I don't know. It's only... I'm recording this on the 29th, but in 8 minutes, it's going to be Halloween. So maybe I should just go ahead and call it Halloween special. Whatever. Halloween special it is. So what I want to talk about on Halloween... Oh, that's what I want to talk about. I already know. I'm just kind of fucking with you guys. I want to talk about metalcore. The reason why is because I had a conversation a few times with my friends, Quinn and Jake, and then the record store owner, Village Green Records in Muncie, Travis Harvey, on the integrity of metalcore and whether it deserves a defense. And now I know most of you are probably be like, oh fuck, Jake is talking about metalcore, time to tune out, I don't listen to heavy music. But give yourself a little bit of a challenge and do it, because I think you'll feel much better about it once you hear the reasons why I'll defend it. Because I'm going to defend it with 5 records. I picked 5 out of my favorites because I have a lot from that genre. I picked 5. I think that's good. They may not count for you metal snobs and purists, but god damn it, they count for me. So let's jump right into it. The things I like about metalcore are the combination of metal, hardcore, some punk rock. Sometimes they try the death metal thing, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But a lot of times, I think it does work. So I got into metalcore in high school because of The Devil Wears Prada and Atreyu, which doesn't sound very cool now, but back then, I thought I was the shit. I had the t-shirts. Didn't have the tight pants, but they were tighter because I was still kind of a fat kid, so I didn't like to wear all the tight pants. But I just remember that music at the time made me laugh, because the song Reptar King of the Ozone by The Devil Wears Prada on their album Plagues was really funny at first, because he hit his bell and made a dinging sound before the breakdown, and I thought that was funny. And they were just screaming and running around, and I thought it was really stupid. And then I got into it because of the intensity, the lyrical quality, and just overall, I guess just the way it makes me feel. I'll explain more once I get to the 5 records, but let's kind of start in. These bands you've probably heard me talk about if you're a friend of mine. And if you haven't heard them, I definitely urge you to go get them, because they're awesome. They're really cool. You can buy them. Please buy them, for God's sakes, if you can find them. Number 5, Poison the Well, Tear from the Red, or Tear from the Red. It's Tear. I haven't decided yet. Particularly the two songs to start off the album with, Botchla and Lazaro, or Lazaro, again, pronunciation. Truly kind of the metalcore, one of the pioneers I think, of the genre besides like Under Oath and Shai Hulud and Misery Signals, who I will get to later. The singer does a lot of singing, not just a lot of screaming. Like their later albums, particularly one called The Tropic Rot, is very kind of like, has like this, man, I don't even know what to call it. Like I won't call it Mumford and Sons vibe, like a folky vibe. Like the guitars aren't like dugga dugga dugga. It's like it's pretty cool. I hope you like that guitar effect. I won't get too emotionally into that one, particularly the song Bachla. The opening lyric is, "Though I adore her, this will never happen." And oh man, even being in a relationship, sometimes that lyric just hit me so hard the first time I heard it. Like my freshman year of college, I was like, I understand, I relate, and I still do. Like that whole record, I drastically relate to how pissed off they are and how emotionally sincere he is. Number 4, probably one of the most important records to me right now, is Low Teens by Every Time I Die. Some people would grab their ears and shake their fist at me and say, Every Time I Die is not metalcore, they're just hardcore, or like they're just a metal band, or like they're just a rock and roll band. But they're so metalcore. Like they've got metal, they've got hardcore, they've got rock and roll, they kind of just got everything. So I don't want to throw them in that category, but since I don't think this category is embarrassing, I'm just going to throw them in that category, metalcore. So that album, despite one of their greatest songs, It Remembers, featuring Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco, oh my God, like, I get caught up talking about it. I even talk about it with people, and I get caught up because it has the same kind of like lyricism that I'm talking about in all of this. Like the song C++, no, sorry, not C++, this is The Coin Has a Say. Like the opening part of it is, I feel all right, but I'm barely alive. And then he gets down into this really heavy section, and it's like so much tough love, so much hate, fuck these people, fuck this place. And he's like, I'm standing in the way again. I can't see the road ahead. Keith Buckley is the lead singer and the chief lyricist of that band, and he has a book called Scale, and it's pretty much just like a big-ass Every Time I Die record, because there's so many great one-liners, and he dips into human emotion and doesn't mind talking about the way that he feels as a person, because there's nothing wrong with it at all, in the slightest, and I love it. I love when people get sincere on me. Number 3, probably the most important metalcore record to me in my metalcore history, is Ideals, the EP by Venable. I don't know if they would like being called metalcore. I hope you don't mind. Jake Morris, Matt Strahl, and Brett Sibley, the only people I know who might listen to this, even for a little bit. But that band made me get back into the genre, because I thought I was going to quit and just play like Foo Fighters ripoffs, but they made me stick with it. And they made me get back on the stage. Jake Morris, the song Nations, is so important to me. I've seen the world rush past me. I let the world move on. I didn't miss a thing. And in the song, he says these part right before this really heavy, I won't call it a breakdown because it's really not, but he's just like, let these hands be free. And I'm like, oh God, every time I get goosebumps. I got goosebumps now just talking about it. Even like doing the hand motion in my room that he did live. And I'm 24 years old, and I heard that song when I was 18 years old, and I'm still reeling like it's the first time I ever heard it. Number 2, Axe to Fall by Converge. Now, they are not called a metalcore band at all. Most people call them a hardcore band. Some people call them a metal band. They are my favorite band in the world, not my favorite metalcore record, because I'm stretching to put them on there. But after I heard that record, I heard that the band described themselves as a punk band with leftover Slayer riffs. And I've heard them talk about bands like Entombed, Neurosis, and then Black Flag, and Minor Threat, and like that's metalcore. You have these metal giants and these punk rock guys I won't even get into how much I love that record because I want to save the last couple minutes for the next record. And that's number 1, Misery Signals of Malice and the Magnum Heart. Came out in 2004, if I'm not mistaken, 2004, 2002. And just kind of showed everyone what the genre could be. There's a song it's called The Year Summer Ended in June. And I don't know what it's about, like, exactly, but it just sounds like he's describing, like, a car crash or a friend dying or a breakup, going to shows, like, it gets me every time. Like, I actually tear up every time I listen to that record. It's not just the sound. It's not just the guitars and the drums and everything. It's that they know when to break, when they throw in these stillnesses. Their songs are perfect. Like, in summary of What I Am, The Year Summer Ended in June. There's this lyric in the opening song where he's like, how could I justify this? I can make everything all right. But what do you know about sacrifice? And just talking about how any man would be punished by, I think, dating this girl, like, calling themselves a victim and a target. And the guitars are rough but calculated. The drums, like, are syncopated with everything that's happening. There's not, like, these cheesy breakdown moments. Like, they're calculated. They're not there just to make people dance. They hit you in the chest. And then top to bottom, that record knows when to slow down. That record knows when to climb back up. The lead singer who was on that record quit and is an English teacher. And, like, I identify with someone who's still that pissed off, because I'm pissed off for no reason most of the time, because I have a pretty fucking good life. But he's still pissed off, but he's still teaching. He's still making a difference. And, man, I'm going to play a little bit of the song after this instead of using Meshuggah. I'll probably use Meshuggah later. I don't know. It's my podcast. Do whatever the hell I want. So, yeah, those were kind of the rundown. I hope you kind of paused at those moments and wrote those records down. Please, if you're my friend, just listen to a couple of the songs off of them, at least like the videos from them, and kind of see what I'm talking about. Even if you're not my friend, if you're someone new, just check them out. Do yourself a favor, challenge yourself, read some of the lyrics, because it's pure poetry, and enjoy yourself. This is a part from The Year Summer Ended in June by Misery Signals.
Well, I hope you know I tried to find those pictures, Jordo. Of us that night in daytime with the pressure point and die. I now feel the need to fly and hide inside.
Man, let me tell you, listening back to that song, oh boy, gave me a smile. It hit me in the chest, shed a tear. That is probably in my top 5 favorite songs, besides Everlong by the Foo Fighters. That's like number 2. Everlong's number 1 because it's the greatest song I've ever heard in my entire life. Man, heavy on the music today, that's for sure. I decided to do something kind of funky. Section 2. I have no idea if this is going to work or not, or even if I can even do it. But I wanted to, like, perform a little bit more, because I really dug reading poetry to you guys, only because I hadn't done it in so long. But I realized the poetry that I had read didn't have much oomph to it, because it's stuff I'd written previously. So I break the rule that you're supposed to not do on poetry or writing, and most of my professors would fucking kill me if they knew what I was doing, is that I don't have second drafts of poetry. The stuff I turn in is my first draft, and most of the time, if I'm done, I'm done. I don't like coming back to it. I don't like looking over it and seeing if it's perfect, because if I say it out loud at that time, or I write it down at that time, that's exactly what I'm feeling, exactly what I'm saying. And even if I stumble or it takes me 2 or 3 days to write the one poem, that first draft is how it's supposed to be. And I won't go back and fix it. I think it's I don't think, well, I just about said unpure. I don't think English degree, Jake. Goddamn. It doesn't feel like it has integrity. And I want my work that I show to people I care about or to professionals that I have integrity. So I sent some poetry in to Booth, a journal out of Butler University, because they have denied me 5 times every time I've sent material in. And I don't care about being published by anybody else at this point. I don't care. But if you turn me down that many times, I'm going to come back and try and get in the door, because I think, I don't know if I would be a good fit for their magazine. I think I would. I like to have that kind of self-confidence in myself. But man, it just gets under my skin. I'm a competitive person, and I like to overcome people who tell me no. Man, that could have gotten really rapey. Luckily it didn't, because this is Gnarlcast and not the rape cast. Jesus Christ. Should save that for a group message. Anyway, I'm gonna take a drink of this Monster real quick. Oh, so good. Anyway, what I'm gonna do, I'm inspired by my man Ty Love, so I'm going to tag him in this. He is a rapper and very good at it. I am not. I tried rapping once with my friend Dylan Carpenter. He tried to record me doing a song, and it was really, really bad because I was really, really scared. But what I do like doing is improvising. So I'm going to try and improvise poetry with the window open, with kind of my senses going, and I just want to see what happens, how long I can go. When I make something creative, I'm really nervous to do it because I'm not going to stop it and record. I'm just going to keep going and just see what happens, see how long it goes. If you don't like to be embarrassed or hear embarrassing things, now's the time to probably turn it off, because I'm probably going to get emotional. Excuse me. Let me check my voice. Okay, great. Take another drink of Monster. I am a monkey, a walking, talking figure ape who knows not where he goes, but wears a suit and a hat and puts himself in front of the mirror. The mirror says, "Hey, you don't look bad," but you say, "Yeah, I do." I'm a man in a monkey suit. I walk around covered in hair and hoping nobody notices I left a banana in my back pocket. That's my lucky banana. I hold on to it because it brings me good fortune, but at the end of the day, I have to eat it or else it's going to go bad. It gives me potassium. But if you eat it too late in the day, it goes to your belly fat, and you've been working on that. You've been working really hard, and you hope that the girl that's your neighbor notices that you've been working really hard, and that your muscles are a little bit bigger, and maybe your figure's a little bit better, and that maybe you speak a little bit calmer, and that your steps are a little softer. You hope that when your friends see you on the FaceTime, that they are like, "Man, he looks better." Or maybe you're hoping that for some reason you'll drive back to your town, you'll see her again, and she'll say, "Man, I let him go, and I shouldn't have." You stay up at night and you pray that you don't dream about her anymore, but you do. And it hurts, and it sucks. You wonder if she's fucking somebody else. You wonder if she's staying up all night talking to somebody else like she used to talk to you, or that she's crying about her feelings with somebody else like she did with you a couple times, and she told you that was special, but now you don't really know what special means. You lift weights because you want to impress people. Not just yourself. You tell yourself, but it's a lie. You want people to think you're strong. You want people to think you're fit. You want people to think that you are something that you are not, but you can become. You're a starving artist and you're a fucking prick. You're an arrogant asshole. You're over-sexualized and you talk to 4 different girls at the same time and you want to tell them the same things, but you don't really mean it. Because there's one girl in particular. She knows who she is and she knows who she talks and she knows the way to get into your head. And now you start dreaming of her too. You dream about her in the shower. You dream about her late at night. You dream about her when you're at work and you hope that she texts you and just says something silly like, hey, how are you? And you're okay. But you hate the way you work. You love the people that you work with, but you hate selling expensive stuff. You hate talking about expensive stuff because in the end, you're still that man in a monkey suit, playing on a jungle gym, holding onto a mountain, but you're never going to climb a mountain because you're afraid of heights. You're a pussy. In the most sensible phrase, you are a pussy. And you miss your friends, and you don't want to tell your family that you cry, and you don't want to tell people that you laugh out loud at their texts sometimes because you are alone. You talk to yourself. You're talking to yourself now. You make these things so you can talk to yourself more. And in the beginning, God said he created the heaven and the earth, but you know that the only thing that he created was a clay court. Not for Roger Federer, but for Rafael Nadal. And then you switch to tennis because you got really emotional. You switch to sports because you know a lot about them and can impress the people that you work with. You tell your new metalcore work friend that you know all these records and he wants to hang out with you. But you go home, you drink a protein shake, you make some chicken, and you go to sleep. And you pretend like nothing else ever happened. You dreamt of the other night, of the night in DC, where you felt terrible, and you realized that you felt terrible for a long time, and you didn't tell anyone. You were a fat fucking asshole who only cared about himself. And then you had beautiful friends who made you realize that there's so much more to care about than yourself. And you have a beautiful family that shows you that they want you to care about them too. And so you do. And you make your dreams come true. And then you make your dreams a little bit harder to come true. And then you go work out to try and impress your neighbor friend. Because you're a man in a monkey suit. And sometimes you're just a monkey. And the banana is all you have. Because that banana, it's not just a good source of potassium. It might even be a good source of vitamin D, even though you don't know your vitamins that well. The banana is your friend. The banana is your love. The banana is your life. At the end of the day, you're going to hold on to it because you're a fucking monkey. No matter what anyone else tells you. I don't know how long I just went for there. That was fun, though. Kind of closed my eyes, kind of like a little seance thing. Should have lit candles. Fuck, I'll do that next time. I kind of just stared at my door. And then I close my eyes sometimes and whatever. I'm listening back to that. I hope that sounded good. If not, that's okay. That was kind of a first time thing. I may do that a little bit more often. I will tell you next week, I will have a kind of like a 40s radio show storyline that I'm going to try and do maybe weekly or bi-weekly. I'm going to write some chapters for it. I will tell you that my lead character's name is Madison Gray. And he's a dude who I named after my Twitter friend, Maddie Dillon, only because I kept seeing her name on Twitter. And I was like, Madison's a good name for a dude. So I'm going to call Madison Gray because detectives are cool. I hope you enjoyed section 2. I'm actually going to play you a Venable song next to change my mind. Not going to do Meshuggah this week. I want them to sue me for using their name so much. Meshuggah. But this is a Venable song called Pushed Out of Entry. Play a little bit of that. Section 3 coming up.
This is a moment till time. What's not a victory? I take the devil himself, but myself away. I said we We said we made it.
Oh, Venable. Oh, good old Venable. I'm gonna get like some of their lyrics tattooed on my shin. I decided, like, I have this thing going on with the Lord of the Flies reference where the hand is reaching up, and I'm gonna get a tattoo where a hand is reaching down, and then on my shin it's gonna say, "Let these hands be free." Right. I know, pretty clever when it comes to tattoos. Don't want to brag or anything. I kind of decided that section 3, I probably should have planned this a little bit more. I did the first 2, like, and I knew I was going to talk about them, kind of practiced, like, a little bit of, like, my intros and things like that. This section, I had no fucking clue what I was going to do. And to tell you the truth, I still, like, don't really have any idea. I'm just going to kind of wing it. Let's wing it for all you people who don't know that I like to mispronounce words. But I want to talk about people, like, ordinary people that, like, I admire. I know that's going to sound strange because it's going to sound like I'm kind of over complimenting people or like kissing somebody's ass, but I'm not. I just think that these people deserve to know, even if they don't even like fucking listen to this ever, that like I look up to them and like inspire my life after some of their decisions or like some of their decision making, some of their things that they do that I think are super cool. First is a dude named Jake Ferris. And, to be honest, Jess Ferris is definitely a part of this as well. Jake in particular, since I got to see him more before I left. So, Jake Ferris owns Studio 13 Tattoo in Fort Wayne. Also Studio 13 Tattoo in Toledo. I think he's a part of this thing called Two Jakes Media now. There's a plug for that. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called now, but it's super cool. So, Jake Ferris is a dude who likes Lemmy, likes Motorhead, Metallica, the Beastie Boys, The Simpsons, weird art, sports, tattoos, Back to the Future, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, wrestling, like, whatever. Just seems to have this big wealth of knowledge and wealth of interest in all these things that I'm also like pretty into. I love tattoos. I love weird art, like weird trinkets and things. He also loves shoes, big sneakerhead, and I admire that. I just don't have the money or the care to buy that many shoes. I wish I did, but he makes me proud to have the same name of Jake because he does cool shit. Like, his Instagram is like the coolest place ever. He has a dog named Party McFly. He's got a pizza tattoo. He goes and travels the world in the coolest places. I remember when I first started following him, I think he went to Dubai and was like skiing inside and then like took pictures in the Paris catacombs and like goes to the H.R. Geiger like museum or like tour or something. Like, he just does all of this cool shit and is the most humble and nice dude. Like, he made me feel like that place, Studio 13, him and Teague and my tattoo artist, Teague Mullen, Studio 13. Check him out on Instagram, TMullen13. He's the best dude ever, besides Jake. And, like, he just made me feel like that place was kind of part of my home. Like, another home away from home. Like, it was one of the hardest parts about leaving was knowing I wouldn't be able to go back to Studio 13 all the time and get sweet tattoos and hang out with cool guys. But, like, we're friends on Facebook, we're friends on Instagram, and we talk about cool stuff sometimes, and he's such a nice guy, and he does all these cool things, and that part of the reason why I moved out to Oregon is because I saw him going and traveling and doing all this cool shit, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to move someplace cool. Like, I'm going to do the things that I want to do. Like, I'm going to buy weird wooden monks to hang up on my wall. I'm going to buy, like, cool tattoo flash sheets to hang up places. I like that stuff, and I wasn't going to buy that stuff because I thought it was tacky, but it's not tacky. It's cool as shit. And if I just follow what I think is cool, fuck it. And I would do it for anybody else, I'd do it for me. And that's just kind of the attitude I've always gotten from him is I'm going to do it for myself, and I'm going to do the things I want to do, so fuck it. And I think he's an extraordinary human being. Second person on my list is a woman whose name is Bree Pierce. Bree Pierce is one of my absolute best friends. One of the most beautiful women you will ever meet. Has the coolest fiance ever, Cammie. Yes, she's a lesbian, as she was for Halloween. Saw her costume. Press like on the picture because I loved it. I met Bree in an English class, and at first we weren't really good friends. And then for some reason, I just one time asked her to come hang out. Like let's go get a drink. Let's hang out. Let's be friends. We went to the locker room, became friends, and now I'm gonna be like in her wedding, and consider her to be an extremely important person in my life. One of the times I noticed that I looked up to Bree so much and cared about what she thought was when I saw her do like stand up like slam poetry. Like I heard her read her own stuff. I heard her talk passionately about To Write Love on Her Arms, even just her faith and her love for people, and the way that she always made me feel, even when I felt like a fat piece of shit, she always made me feel handsome, like always made me feel good looking, always made me feel better about who I am. I could be like a drunk dick. She came to all of my parties. She asked me to lunch whenever she could. She was just so nice. Seeing her on campus when I was at Ball State was the highlight of my like youth, or not my youth, Jesus Christ, just a highlight of like my school career. And she's one of the best people I've ever met at Ball State, and I know she's a friend that I'm going to keep around forever. And besides not a person that I talk to on a daily basis, it's kind of why I wanted to plug her in here, because I don't get to talk to her enough, and I don't get to see her enough being out here, and it's hard because I miss her a lot, and I miss Cammie a lot, and I miss the way how good of friends I felt like we were even when we didn't see each other for months. And it's so hard to find people like that now. But the third person I want to talk about is another beautiful woman whose name, also a lesbian, oh my god, Rachel Van Horn, also going to be in her wedding. Super psyched about that. Rachel Van Horn made me not kill myself at Best Buy. Not literally, I don't want to be insensitive. But when she first started working there, I didn't know who she was. I was super unsure about her as a person. I thought she was going to be like some like old like Best Buy person who was just like bled blue and yellow and was going to be super serious on her sales and wasn't going to goof off and wasn't going to have fun. And then I noticed on the new employee, like get to know the new employee thing in the hub in the break room, that her favorite song was a Rancid song. And I was like, what the fuck? No way does she like Rancid. No. And then like I started talking to her and figured out that she loves punk rock. She loved like all the same music I did. She didn't give a fuck, just like me. We had like the same sense of humor. And like every day that we worked together, we just had a blast. It was like working with your best friend all the time. Like even you could relate when you had struggles on your sales. You could relate when your bosses were breathing down your neck and being assholes. Like she just got me at work and got me outside of work, and like hanging out with her and Matt. We went to the Mark Tap Room, which was one of the a gay bar in Muncie, and I got super drunk, and I had the best time. And I told you guys last time, I don't even like being drunk. But again, she is just this overwhelmingly beautiful person, inside and out. And I don't know if she thinks that she does, but she makes the people around her better as well. Like, she's everyone's favorite person to work with. Like, everyone's excited when they know that she's going to be there. I would purposely love to go into work just to go say hi to her. Just to go say hi. Because she made me go out of my way when I didn't even need to go there and hated to go to that store after I stopped working there. And, I mean, I'm flying back to the state to, like, see all these people that I talked about. And that's, like, how important they are. Even when you're on the other side of the country, these people who deserve the spotlight more than, like, anybody else in the fucking media right now, like, all this election crap and all these sad things and all these people protesting or people whatever, like, everything is so sad. But you have three people who are bright spots in a state that I hold so much resentment for that make me hate it 50% less. And like, there's so many more people that I'm going to talk about over time. Like, this is going to be a running segment where I just talk about people, how much I love them. I'm going to save my crew, my close crew, for later. These are people that I wish were in my close crew, but I didn't do a very good job of keeping them close, because I'm really bad at that, about keeping people close. One thing that I've noticed is that this segment's going to go a little bit longer than I wanted to, because I'm going to talk about this now, is that, like, I like to have a lot of friends. I don't know why. I like having like a small group of people that I really, really like and tight and really, really close with. But I love being friends with people because it's awesome. Like, I sometimes I can be a bit of an introvert, but if I didn't branch out and have these friend groups, I wouldn't have met these people that I'm talking about now. And at a time like in my life, the past, I don't know, 3 months now, seeing them or talking to them or anything, these reminders of like them now make me feel so much better. I'm thinking about the way that Jake makes me feel adventurous, and Bree makes me feel handsome and, you know, like a nice guy, and Rachel makes me embrace the music that I love and lets me know that like I'm her best, like one of her best friends. Like, nothing in the world is better than feeling like that because of 3 incredible people. All right, you punk bitches, I'm out. I'm gonna go to bed. Not really. I'm gonna play Uncharted, or I'm gonna edit this podcast, but it's gonna take a while, so probably not gonna do that. Gonna avoid it. But I drank this Monster Zero, and it's gonna keep me up. I gotta tell you, the response from the people I care about so far has been super fun, and I'm liking doing this. So I'm hoping I'm gonna do it a little bit more. This has been episode 2. I am your good friend, Jake Olmstead. Have a good night. Hang loose. Don't forget to be a party smasher. Thank you.